Hello guys, welcome back to another lovely trading video. In this one we're going to be doing in-depth stock analysis on Moderna, ticker MRNA. Why are we doing stock analysis on this? Firstly, it was up around 5% closing on Friday, so people will be looking at it. Secondly, there's just quite a lot of volume on this stock lately. A lot of people wanting to know how it's going to be trading, mainly because it moved so highly previously that people are wondering if it's going to continue its upward momentum. So that's what we're going to quickly go through now and where I can personally see the stock going. So if you watch the previous one we did on Moderna, I think it was a week or two ago, we did say it would be kind of trading within this range until we kind of get a consolidate or a proper breakout. By that I mean like a close and a further push. And as you can see, since that video, we have kind of done what we said, and that's just kind of consolidating this area, bouncing between the levels. So for now we are still stuck in this level, so until we break out again, nothing's really going to happen. So for now we just need to wait for the breakout, but we will give price targets to where we see what will happen when it breaks out. And as you can see, yes, we did close a tiny bit above this deviation, but again, we need to kind of break this high for it to kind of count as a breakout. To be honest, I'd be looking for the break of around 419, 418.50. Once we break through that, then we do have most likely a chance of going quite bullish. Now, if we break through that area, what are our price targets? Our main one, right off the bat, would be that 434. That one is achievable, and if we break out of this zone, that will be our first price target that we would most likely hit. If we break through that, however, then it gets a bit more extreme, and it will require quite a lot of a momentum, because we would have to break out into a new high, and that would require us to break that psychological $500 level and all-time high level of $500. However, if we break through that, we do have a key level at around $526, $527, around there. We also got one actually right below that at about $510. So those would be our key and realistic targets. Obviously this 434 would be that main one, but obviously that's not a massive move in comparison to where it could go. So that would be our key price target that we would 99% hit. However, if these are our higher ones at 510 and 525, but they're just not maybe as achievable. It will require a lot of momentum to keep breaking up. So you can be looking out for these levels, and they wouldn't be the worst areas to maybe start getting short if you're looking to get short Moderna. Obviously we do have higher price targets, don't know how achievable they are, but we will plot them anyway at around 606 and 618/620. Don't really see it going past there anytime soon. However, if it did on a very extreme target basis, we do have 711 and around 702. That would be very extreme and very unlikely. Even the 606 to 619 is very unlikely. So yeah, for now, that would be kind of the key targets. And firstly, why don't I think it's going to be going back up to this level? So we got a lot of this end of momentum on the Pfizer news that it got FDA approved. So the main reason this got pumped, and it did a lot more than Pfizer, was because people are anticipating that Moderna will be the next vaccine to be FDA approved. So even if the news comes out and it does get FDA approved, it probably won't break into an all-time high because it was already priced in. At least that's my opinion on Moderna. Now to the downside, and where do we have price targets if you're either shorting or looking to get long. So if we quickly come over to a yearly chart, we did have a gap form. We can quickly remove these indicators, but we did actually have a gap that formed over here. So this will be a key area to be looking out for, because 99% or probably around 95% of all gaps get filled. And especially because it's had so much momentum this year, we will most likely get a pullback back to this level. So this would be a key area to be looking out for. This 270 to 260, definitely a key level to be looking out for to get that gap filled. So if we go on to the standard deviation levels as well, you can see that that gap fill does kind of go in with our 4-hour first deviation. So that does indicate to us that this gap will get filled. So what I'll go into this chart so it's a bit clearer. This gap will get filled, and then we would most likely get our bounce off this $250 level, because not only is that a big psychological level, but it is our first deviation, so most likely we'd get a heavy bounce off this level. So yeah, I mean, it may just go to the top of the gap fill. Yes, it would be filled by then, but it would now be a temporary support and resistance in the short term, so we could have a target of around 270, but it wouldn't actually even be extremely unlikely for it to come back to the statistical mean, which would be a lot closer to around $320 to around $340, depending where the deviations are at the time it comes down. And then if we think Moderna is going to go even lower and we're still looking to get long, the 221 level is key, 157, 125, all key levels. Maybe not the most realistic. I don't really see it going any further down than 223, at least in the short term, because what usually happens when a stock is pumped kind of like this, not pumped, I don't want to say pumped, but when it gets a lot of strong momentum like this, yes, you get the pullback we're starting to encounter now. So again, we could break up, test these levels, or break down. And if we break down, you usually become a bit oversold before returning to a mean. The reason for this is because people were so bullish on it, people would maybe be in with larger size than they usually would, or managing. So it usually leads to the stock being a bit oversold before returning to the mean, and that's why I'm giving that target of around 223, because that key kind of bounce level would be the gap fill, then a bounce at 250. However, we could see it getting a bit oversold down to around the 223 level before getting that proper solid bounce to the statistical mean at around 320 to 340. So there are quite a lot of price targets on screen, so if you kind of want to screenshot them if that's what you're interested in, you can do that. So hope you enjoyed the breakdown on Moderna. Hope to see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.